Welcome back to Kenosha Community Media. We got a great guest for us today, and that is Koerri Elijah, who is a digital creator in Kenosha. And Koerri, nice to see you today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jason. I appreciate it. Nice to see you too.
Well, let's start off. Maybe those who don't know, what is a digital creator?
A digital creator basically is anyone that makes digital content in the online space. So some people would refer to themselves as YouTubers. Now that we're at the point where YouTube is still like the major platform where people, video creators or digital creators, upload their content. Uh, it's not the primary platform anymore, right? Lots of people diversify, whether it be TikTok. Me personally, my focal point is Facebook. Some people make content solely on Instagram, things like that. So anyone that basically is an online influencer or someone that makes video content specifically for social media would be a digital creator.
And I've seen your Facebook page, and you have quite a bit of followers. And how is it for a digital creator to create those followers, to get those numbers up? What's your secret?
So I mean, there's not really, the only real secret I would say is consistency and just continuing to work. Everything else when it comes to in terms of gaining a following, being as strategic as you can, kind of knowing the direction that you want to go in, knowing your target audience, and then creating content that kind of um, panders to what they would want, right? Either that or provide a service in a way that kind of creates buzz. And then also, I mean, the biggest factor in all of it is honestly luck. You never know what's really going to go viral. I mean, I've made an array of different types of content. Um, One of my most viral moment really just being more journalistic than the content that I typically or normally would do. But then also like while creating that, trying to build the audience, knowing your audience, but also staying true to yourself and staying real, because that's kind of what people, especially in the online space, especially when it comes to different types of reporting or even just kind of showcasing events and things like that. People really just want the raw information, the raw truth. They want to see what's going on. So kind of just making sure that you stay true to yourself, do things that you want to do, as well as do things that your community wants from you as well, because you don't want to burn yourself out. Because taking it back to the first point that I made, you want to stay consistent, you want to continue to make content, and you can get burned out very easily if you're just kind of making content that you're not necessarily passionate about to gain that following. So keeping that balance, working hard, continuing to just put in the grind, but then also being a person that people can relate to would be the best advice that I'd give people.
Where do you think this is all going? The digital creation, like, will it stay the same, or do you think something else out there in the future is going to happen, or where do you think this is going? The future of the digital age.
Well, as mediums continue to transform, and progress, I mean, who really knows? There's a big push now in technology for AR. So I imagine at some point there may be some sort of augmented reality platform or something like that people may be able to take advantage of. That will be, it'll look different, but at the end of the day, it's really just people wanting to connect with other people that they have, similar interests with.
Well, you did a great job capturing the civil unrest last year. What- as a journalist, you're out to cover what's happening, but at the same time, this is your hometown. How were you feeling when you were covering that?
It was definitely a life-changing experience, just being involved, like being in the center of something that a global situation. All the eyes in the world were on my hometown, a place that people, I'm growing up, some people would call it nowhere and stuff like that. It's like, no, everybody knows where Kenosha is right now. So it just with everything happening, especially, the days where the rioting was going on, but then even in the aftermath with all of the commotion with the press, a lot of people just kind of, and not just the press, but, everyone, just more outside digital creators coming in, or live stream journalists, things like that, um, or just people that were protesters or counter protesters, just the commotion and, the atmosphere of things being happy, things being dark, and them just shifting very, left and right, like out of the blink of the eye. It was a difficult time, honestly, to get through. Um, but the work needs to get done. So I just kind of realized, like, this is a moment in history that, we want everything to be fair for everyone. And I just looked at it as I was out there creating transparency for everyone that was out there. So I just kind of kept that in mind and just used that to kind of stay out for several days. So,
Do you think, do you think, because you talked about politics, do you think you'll ever go into politics?
so people ask me that all the time. People have tr- asked me to actually run for different positions and things of that nature. It's something that I keep in the back of my mind, but the line of work that I do, I kind of see myself as a curator, when it comes to just being able to highlight people, or bring people on that maybe m- might not have that big of a following, or people may not have even heard of, or maybe it's even a situation that, not that many people were really focused on, and, kind of bringing attention to those things. I feel, at least as of right now, my position is best doing things like that, helping gain awareness to a lot of the things that go on in the area, not just, the bad, but a lot of the good, or just the things that people don't know what happens. There's a lot of different organizations, there's a lot of different events that happen within the city. There's a lot of annual things that go on that, I like to help highlight. And a big portion of my following, about 40% of my following, is local, but I've had so many people outside of that. The other 60%, I try to keep them in mind as well, while I highlight things in the city to show, to kind of help influence other people to do what I do, but also to kind of show people what Kenosha really is about while I'm here. So
Let's talk about gaming. You are involved with playlegit.net. Maybe for those who don't know what playlegit.net, what is and how
Uh,
you
so so playlegit.net is a gaming website, gaming news and real talk website. So we do reviews, we have podcasts, written reviews, and it's all types of gaming. So it's not just video games, tabletop gaming, things like that. And then also we cover a little bit of entertainment and things like that as well there. I've been working with them as a digital content producer since 2016. uh, I kind of linked up with them through a buddy of mine I met on YouTube, just making YouTube content. His name is Mo Chocolate. He kind of linked me with my buddy KJ, who's the founder of Play Legit. And yeah, from there we just kind of built a relationship. I ended up interviewing KJ at first on my podcast. We built a relationship from there, and I was like, "Hey, man, if you guys ever need some help with what you guys are doing over there, I definitely would be down to help." Started you know writing some articles and things over there, turned into me doing heavy digital push there, creating a few different shows and things that we premiered on the website and promoted and stuff like that, and continue to do. So yeah, it's been fun. I really love, as people can see, like, I'm very big into video games, and people say nerd culture, but I think comic books and stuff like that. So Comic Con hosting and panel hosting is something that I like to do in my spare time as well. Especially now, I just got a few emails now about some conventions that are opening up. So it's going to be cool to kind of mix some of that in with the Facebook platform as well, to kind of shine a light on some of that fun stuff that I do out there as well. So
and the website again for Play Legit?
playlegit.net. is the website. Yep.
Okay. And where can we see your podcast or hear your podcast?
Oh, so my podcast, if you stop by, well, if you just go to CoerriElijah.com, you can find pretty much everything aggregated there. Um, but the podcast, you can find that if you want to watch it, it's on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Koerri Elijah, as well as YouTube. And then if you want to listen to it, we're anywhere you can listen to a podcast. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Libsyn, all of that good stuff.
Well, Koerri, I want to thank you so much for talking with us today. Again, you do excellent work as digital creator and in all your work on social media. And thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate you having me.